In front of me, I have the OPPO Find X9, and today I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the phone, its specifications, build quality, and just give you my general opinions about it. So, to get started, let's pop it open. There we go. Make your moment by, I guess, not including anything of value in here. Okay, I guess that's a moment. Under that we got the phone itself. Why is there just like crap in here? Anyway, here we got basically advertising. That's great. So we have OPPO Watch series, OPPO Pad series, and OPPO Enco X series, whatever that's supposed to be. Like, you have plenty of places to make advertising. Putting it in a box with the phone that you purchase is not one of them. Next we got the cable, Type A to Type C, and we also get the OTG cable, USB-C to A, and that's about it. So let's move over to the phone itself. So, quickly going through the setup, you can see obviously that it's running Android. Now, one thing that is kind of annoying here, we need to connect to Wi-Fi because apparently setting up your device is not dependent on how you want to set it up. Now, no. That is onto OPPO, how these cunts want you to set up your device. And they obviously want you to connect to network, even though you might not want to do that. Well, tough shit. You're not going to be obviously using the device without doing what they want you to. Which at that point, it's not really a setup now, is it? I also want to point out one thing that is annoying. When typing in password, actually just kind of show it right here. Okay, now it's obviously typing in correctly. Great, so now it's typing in correctly. But when I was typing in the first time, some buttons were just kind of being missed. So I'd like type them in too fast and it would be like, yeah, we're just not gonna accept the second input that you put in. Which was kind of just stupid. Anyway. Now we get to check for network info because a stupid piece of shit wanted me to connect to network. Simple way would have been to not force me to do that and I could have been past this page already. Thanks. Checking info. How about just go forward? No one asked you to do that. Come on, we're almost there. ColorOS, great. The shittier version of other software that almost the same company offers. So the reason I can say that is because this is OPPO, right? OPPO basically is owned by one company that also owns OnePlus and Vivo. Now, I did unbox Vivos, which are at least the Pro version of this phone is equivalent to the Pro version of the Vivo X300. So it seems like they're just releasing the same phones. At least the display was identical. The cameras were about the same. This one seems to have a little bit of a leg up with one specification, which let's start off with the display. So we have a 1256 by 2760 pixel display at 6.59 inches in size, AMOLED, 1 billion colors, 120 Hz refresh rate, and interestingly enough, we have also 3840 Hz pull rate. So the responsiveness of the display, how many times it refreshes to check where your finger is basically done nearly 4,000 times per second. We also have support for Dolby Vision, HDR10+, HDR Vivid, and a peak brightness of 3600 nits. The device also has 91% screen to body ratio and pixel density of 460 pixels per inch with a Cornell Gorilla Glass 7i. Now let me actually put something bright on here, like there we go. So you can see the bezels right here, and they are pretty minimal. Actually, they're not as minimal as the Vivo. So I think that phone has actually a little bit smaller bezels, but it could be just me remembering it incorrectly. Anyway, so this phone in itself, like if we consider that basically we have the Vivo and OPPO and OnePlus, talking about the Vivos, they are, at least in the Pro version, about the same phones, just different brand. But this one specifically, the non-Pro X9, is doesn't really have an equivalent per se, because X300 is a smaller phone than this. So this is in between the X300 and, for instance, the X9 Pro and also Vivo X300 Pro. While also offering about the same kind of specifications of the bigger version of the X9 Pro and also X300 Pro. Now, with that being said, the display right here is phenomenal. Let's put it this way. It's one of the better displays you have on any phones right now. And surprisingly enough, them going with the certification for Dolby Vision is even surprising. The reason it's surprising is because, just to explain how Dolby Vision works, is it's in a way Dolby scam. So they're basically marketing this. It's HDR in its way, just looks a little bit different, has different like color palettes to it and whatever. I don't really want to get too much into detail, but imagine it as just a little bit of a different HDR. But the difference is HDR is open source, so anyone can use this. And that's why most movies have HDR support or come with it, right? While the Dolby Vision, as a producer of a movie, you need to pay royalty to Dolby. If you're putting those movies on DVDs, you need to pay a royalty per sale for those movies because of Dolby Vision. You need to pay for hardware to run Dolby Vision. So if you have like a Blu-ray player, if you're planning to sell those as a manufacturer, you also need to pay royalties to Dolby for that. So basically, Dolby is at every step of the effing way collecting money. And it's nice that, I guess, OPPO decided to put that into their devices, but you know what? I would be completely fine not having that, because screw this bullshit. There is no reason why, and you should be paying extra for basically what is a copy of HDR. So, and on top of that, it doesn't help that because Dolby is a scummy piece of shit that wants money from basically every step, you don't really have that much content that you can view in Dolby. Now, that being said, let's move over to the cameras. So, if we take a look at the cameras at the back, we have what looks to be a triple camera setup right here. And actually, by the spec sheet, all of them are 50 megapixels. So we have 1.6 aperture, 23mm wide, 2.6 aperture, 73mm periscope telephoto, and we got a 50 megapixel 2.0 aperture, 50mm, 120 degree ultra wide. Now with those cameras you can record at 4K up to 120 frames per second. That is not slow motion, that is just normal frame rate. So that is pretty good. We also, at that, we have HDR, 10-bit video, Dolby Vision support, which you at least shouldn't need to really pay any royalties for recording it in this, unless you probably want to distribute whatever you're recording as a monetizable thing, most likely, as it is Dolby Vision after all. And we have also log format. So you get basically everything that you'd expect from a camera, minus the, for instance, like 8K 30 frames, which the Vivo X300 can do. Which I know this is a completely different brand, but like I mentioned before, the Vivo X300 Pro is equivalent to like the Pro version of this phone that we have, the X9 Pro, and it's the same parent company basically, so these phones are very close together. Camera here is pretty good. Now at the front we have a 32 megapixel 2.4 aperture 21mm wide lens that also does 4K 60 frames. that's also pretty decent for a selfie. Now, let's move over to the internals, as that's where the device also kind of has pretty decent specifications. So number one, I do want to point out this is a relatively small device, maybe not like super small, but here is an Samsung S25. So this is like the smallest Samsung, and it's not that much smaller, all things considered, to this phone, as you can see. The difference is the Samsung has a like what 4,000 mAh battery at the best. This has 7,025. So it has a whopping battery. Like, this is a huge cell, and also it can charge at 80 watts wired and 50 watts wirelessly. So this phone can charge faster without being plugged into anything, just on a wireless charger, than a best Samsung offering with a cable, as that garbage can charge at like 45 watts. And even furthermore, if you compare it to this piece of shit right here, this can charge at 25 watts max. It's the flagship phone from Samsung that charges at 25 watts with a wire. This does double that without one. Awesome. So obviously pretty good specifications. Now there's a couple variants of this device in terms of RAM and storage. So the lowest one you can get is with 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigs of RAM. But you can spec it all the way to 1 terabyte of storage and 16 gigs of RAM. Now, the phone itself doesn't have expandable storage, which you can see right here. So we have only dual SIM card support and no expandable storage. So just make sure that when you're buying this phone, you buy the version that has sufficient amount of storage here. And consider the fact that when you're recording videos at like 4K 120 with Dolby Vision, HDR, and whatever not, these videos will take immense amount of storage, specifically if you go into log recording. This shit will be like gigabytes per minute. So make sure if you're planning to utilize that for this kind of usage, that you go with the better version than 256 storage. So now moving on into the processor powering this is the Dimensity 9500, a very, very good processor, basically a flagship. And I think it's actually faster than what the Snapdragon has to offer right now. Let me see. 9500. There we go. Gen 5. I don't think Gen 5 is out yet. I think it's like Gen 3. At least that's what Samsung has. Yeah, so it is actually faster in single multi-core N22 benchmarks, 3D Mark. Well, 3D Mark is actually like the high score is pretty significant of a difference. So yeah, it is a faster processor than what Snapdragon has to offer at the highest end right now. So this is, by all intents and purposes, at least for Android right now, but by the looks of it, the fastest processor you can get in the phone. Because I don't think there is yet, or maybe not in Europe, any phones that are running the newer generation of the Snapdragon 8 Elite. I know that I think in China, the new Xiaomi's will already have them, because they do have the Xiaomi, what is it, 17, which is kind of like a copy of an iPhone, but that is running the new Snapdragon. At least I think it is. Yeah, but in any case, at the moment, at least here, this is the fastest processor you can get outside of an iPhone, and I don't even know if it's faster than iPhone. So basically flagship level performance right here throughout everything. And in general, I do want to say these phones are stupidly good. So whatever I say kind of negative about this, it's just because, for instance, I know that there might be something better, but in a vacuum chamber, these phones are already like some of the best devices you can buy in terms of hardware. The fact that they're basically not skimping out on literally anything, because you have basically best display, best processor, best battery, best charging speeds, okay, maybe not best cameras, as Vivo and the Pro version of this do exist, so that's not the best, I guess, but we also have certifications here, everything that you could possibly want, log recordings, and yeah, it's just a throughout everything a flagship level performance. So I have nothing really in a vacuum chamber bad to say about this device. But if I were to be spending money on this phone, I think I would be going with something like the X300, just because it's smaller, personal preference, or alternatively also X300 Pro, or the Pro version of this one. I think I would still prefer the X300 Pro, as that allows me to record at 8K 30 frames, while also offering everything that we have right here, and has a bigger battery. And one of the biggest kind of things that I consider is the price. I can buy it on Allegro, which is the equivalent of eBay, right? Or no, sorry, Amazon. That's basically equivalent to Amazon, from Hong Kong, and I can pay about $700 for that, give or take. So, or more like euros. So it's about 700 euros, which the Pro versions of these devices are much more expensive than that. So the fact that I'm kind of buying it from China, but I'm buying it through European website, I get the European laws, not the Chinese ones. So the seller has to deal with everything that is associated with consumer rights. So I benefit while getting a phone at a much, much better price tag. And that's the only reason why I'd go for that, as at that price, it's cheaper than this, while being better. But like I said, this is kind of something that you might not see on, I don't know, Amazon, assuming you don't have, like, you know, Chinese resellers posting things there. If you do, it's a solid thing to look into. For instance, Allegro here gives me a lot of consumer rights and protection. So even if some seller wants to scam me, Allegro will be there with their Allegro Protect to basically remove any kind of sketchiness. If the phone comes out to be a brick and the seller just disappears, Allegro pays it out. So I am protected basically in every way, and that's really the only reason why I'd ever considered these kind of devices, because I do have warranty at that point that I don't need to really worry about, and even though it's from China, for all I need to consider, it could be as well from Europe, and I wouldn't really tell a difference. So that's the only reason why I'd be looking at this. But the weird thing here with this device and the pricing of these is that one big parent company has produced basically the same phone multiple times. So like the Pro version of this, and like I mentioned, the X300 Pro, are the only difference there is the branding at the back and skin on the Android, which right here we have the ColorOS 16 running Android 16 with 5 major upgrades to Android, while the Vivo is running the Origin OS, also with Android 16 with also 5 years of major Android upgrades. So both phones are pretty great, and if you want something smaller, you could, like I said, look to the Vivo. If you want something bigger, you have the X9 Pro and also the Vivo X300 Pro, which both of them are almost identical phones, with the only difference is really being the battery size and also the cameras. The Pro versions of these devices have better cameras than the smaller equivalents of these devices. So you can check out some other ones, maybe if you can get a better price and better camera. Obviously that would be probably more beneficial. But with that being said, I hope you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9 and today I'll show you how you can go through the setup process of this device. So, when you boot it up for the very first time, you should be presented with the same screen you can see on my end right here. And all you want to do is just start off by clicking on the arrow. Next, select your desired language, which for me is English, which is what I want to use. Moving on to the next page, we have select region. Now, I'm going to pause right here and just kind of go a little bit into depth. Now, I don't know if this is exactly how it would work. There's not really much I can check it with yet. But if you're in specific regions that aren't as favorable, like UK, as an example, which claim that you have, for instance, freedom of speech, but you technically don't, and they are pestering US companies to basically give them a back access to their operating systems like iOS's or Androids. Now, as far as I know, that kind of went nowhere. But then if company did give them back access to their systems, then they'll also be obligated to not disclose this. So if they have back access, we don't know about it, and we won't know about it. And anyway, selecting that your region is UK could possibly open you up to this kind of creepy, just spy kind of approach that, you know, government can just check your phone for no effing reason without any kind of legal requirements, like, I don't know, a court order or something like that, right? They can just do it like, ooh, let's see what Joe has on his device just because he looked weird at me. Now, so that's one thing. Another one, as an example, could be things like with Apple, where European Union is forcing Apple to basically open up their entire ecosystem to alternative stores. And they're obviously basically being a little spoiled shits, kicking and screaming and trying to just not do this and getting fined. But eventually, if they haven't already, they will do it. Otherwise, you will just start increasing the fines. So in cases like this, if you're in US and you select that in US, again, this is theoretical. I haven't actually checked, nor do I have a way to check it yet. If you're in US, obviously, Apple won't let you download third-party stores. That's where their 30% cut comes from. So you will basically be the location where you would have access to it, but anywhere else, it's like, no, no, you don't get that. So just be wary of that. Might be better to select regions that are outside of US or, for instance, UK, stuff like that. I personally like where I live just because we have pretty good laws, consumer and otherwise. So anyway, I'm gonna select Poland. There we go. Boom. Perfect place now. Next, we have legal information, user agreement, privacy policy, and data security. Wow. Seriously, Google, you're gonna tell me about data security? You got a joke. Now, I want to point out, we're not really agreeing to anything here. We're just selecting next. As far as I know, next isn't agree. But okay. Set up using another device. So if you have a second phone, which just disappeared, let me just try that again. There we go. It will show up automatically on your device like this. Set up new device. So this allows you to basically move over the data that is associated with your Google account to this device, which would include things like your Google account, along with contacts that are on that Google account and some other info, like, for instance, downloaded applications. Though it's not importing the applications itself, it's importing the data that this phone should now go to the Play Store and download these apps. Now, it's absolutely effing useless if you tend to keep yourself off of, cloud storage or storing like any data on the cloud, like contacts, because storing contacts is like just giving Google a list of personal information of all your friends without their permission for them to basically monetize. I just despise this. So anyway, with that in mind, other options that wouldn't be affected is like if you, for instance, have something like me, which is things like, for instance, CloudStream. CloudStream is a application that is downloaded from GitHub, not Play Store. It's not available on Play Store. And this application wouldn't be downloaded on here because it's not available on Play Store, and what is being transferred is just this info that, hey, could you kindly download this app, because it was downloaded from Play Store on the other device, so download it here too. But if it's from anywhere else, oh, no, do this work yourself, otherwise piss off. So it's useless option to transfer over the data. And that being said, if you want to transfer over data from your old phone to this one, there's actually a better way, using their built-in clone phone application, which I'm going to show once I finish the setup, if I will remember. Actually, I will try to. Now, anyway, moving on, here we have connect to Wi-Fi. This step is optional. You don't need to do it on this device, at least. There are some that force you, but here we are free to just skip this if we want to. And furthermore, I have to appreciate the fact that OPPO doesn't lie about the you skipping this. So it gives you a quick message. You need to connect to the internet. Wait, need is a strong word. That's a lie. You don't need. To the internet for the next operation. Okay, never mind. I guess I lied too, because it does give you bullshit. Please connect to Wi-Fi or use mobile data. Wow. Oh, okay, so never mind. They just give you a effing skip button and then tell you, haha, no, good joke. We got you. Connect. So piece of shit wants me to connect. I guess I don't have an option. God forbid I was able to set up my device the way I want to set it up. Instead, I'm going to be setting it up the way OPPO wants me to, because fucking Winnie the Pooh wants my data. Absolute garbage. That being said, OnePlus doesn't require you to do this, and also Vivo doesn't require you to do this. Pick up Vivo. It's basically the same phone, which comes with a case, but it doesn't just kind of, noose you into doing what Winnie the Pooh wants you to do. So yeah, go get that. It's literally the same phone. It's made by the same parent company, so screw this one. My social credit score is probably gone by now. Okay, moving on. Wow, if I didn't connect to network, guess what you wouldn't need to do? Check network info. Would have been nice. Okay, copy apps and data. Now this is another way to copy bullshit ways of apps and data. We're going to skip this. Like I said, I'm going to be showing you a better way to do this. That doesn't include Google. We do have the option to sign into our Google account. Again, this actually is optional. We don't need to do that, which again, forcing us to sign into network absolutely means F all if I never wanted to sign into Google account. Just food for thought. Connect to mobile network. No, we don't need that. You already forced me to sign into Wi-Fi, so we can skip this. Next we have unlocking method, which doesn't require network connection, so I don't know what the hell did I need to connect to Wi-Fi for. Anyway, we have a couple different ways of protecting our device. We have password, fingerprint, and face recognition. Now under password, there are 3 different methods of unlocking your device. That'd be numeric, alphabetical, pattern, or we'll cancel. Now, you can select either one of those options, and you will need to select one of those if you're planning to use either fingerprint or face recognition. Now, the finger and face are basically a biometric unlocks, which biometric scanners here aren't 100% reliable, and in the times where your phone decides to have a stroke and not recognize you for, I don't know, whatever reason, maybe you just have a tiny little blemish on your face and no longer recognizable to the device with a face recognition, or maybe you just, cut your finger and you no longer can unlock it. That will leave you then with the other option being PIN, pattern, or password, which doesn't change based on a phone's mood. Now, you can also not protect your device at all, though I wouldn't recommend doing so, as your phone contains your personal information. So if you were ever to lose that device, it would be in your best interest that whoever finds it doesn't have just access to every data that is on your device. Now, I'll be skipping it because it's not my phone. Next, we have Google services like location scanning and sending user and diagnostic data. Now, I want to point out, number one, if you're buying this phone in China, then you're probably not watching this video, but just hypothetical, let's assume you are. This means nothing. No matter how much you try to not be spied on, you will be. I mean, your social credit score need to be kept somehow. And for everyone else in the world, just know that these options here mean absolutely F all. You can turn that off, use location, you can turn off scanning, and allow phone number Wait, what? Okay, that's new. I haven't seen this one. So we have this one, and we have the send user and diagnostic data. We can turn that off as well. So let's start off with this. Send user and diagnostic data would imply that no data is being sent, user or diagnostic. Now, any kind of data that is associated with this device would be user data. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because this means nothing, because your phone will still send data. Number one, it connects to cell tower, and that data is being gathered. It's user one, but yet it's still being gathered no matter if you turn that off or not. Turning off location and scanning would imply that your device doesn't connect to network, right? I mean, or doesn't know your location, more like. But it doesn't use location through Wi-Fi or GPS. Guess what? It can use it through Bluetooth, cell towers, and other means by connecting and daisy chaining off of other devices. Which obviously means that this toggle here means FO. Great. And just to give you a little bit of a further kind of insight into this, if turning off even the toggle for Wi-Fi and all that stuff and just putting your phone in airplane mode would work like it's supposed to, then criminals that go do their nefarious things in the wild with their phones in airplane mode wouldn't be found. And yet they somehow are, because these toggles means absolutely nothing. And your privacy doesn't exist if you're using Android like this. So Graphene OS for the win. Anyway, moving on. Choose your browser and search engine. Cool, we're gonna select next, and we're gonna select our browser. You know what? I'm gonna select Firefox because that's the only browser here that is not based on Chromium, as far as I can tell at a first glance. That's number one. And number two, it allows for installation of something like Adsonium or Adsonium, however you pronounce this. Let me quickly check. Odnasium. There we go. Highly recommended. So we're going to set that as default, and then we're going to select our search engine. I want to point out search engines here are very limited. You can add custom ones if you want to, because there are definitely way better search engines nowadays than what we have as garbage offerings right here. So honestly, I would be selecting Yandex, but it's not present here unless I'm just very blind. So at this moment, I'm going to select a Bing, as this is still better than Google for some reason. Not sure how we got to the point where Bing is better than Google, but we got here. And next we have review additional apps. So basically, hey, would you like some trash malware applications like AliExpress, Booking, Cashback, and some other crap? If you want it, that's great. You can install them. I don't. So I'm going to be checking all of them off. Recommended services, auto update overnight, global search, weather services. There's one that I want to find, which will be, I think it's this one. Lock Screen Manager provides you with high quality wallpapers. Yep, that's the one. You want to turn that shit off. Believe me, you do not want this crap. And I'm going to keep it on just so I can show you this as well. So moving on, wow, there is a whole heap of different things right here. So you can go over all of them, turn them all off if you want to. But I definitely recommend turning off that wallpaper crap. Screen mode, so just coloration, and then we have navigation, buttons, or gestures. I'm going to stick with gestures, which is selected, and this basically finishes up the setup. Now, like I mentioned, first thing, to import your data, you would be looking for the phone clone application, which is the one, I believe it's this one, right? Nope, never mind, that's not the one. Oh, there it is. This tiniest little thing right here, which was, oh, there it is, clone phone. So you can use this to basically import data, all the data from your old phone, and it works like a freaking charm. So that's one thing. Another one would be the wallpaper carousel. So here we go. Here we have our glorious wallpapers. Can you like, whatever. So these are so far okay-ish. Okay, this one just looks like a fun art 3D garbage. Again, a little bit of anime right here. If you don't want to look like an absolute weeb, maybe not the best options. Moving on. There are some like very weird ones. There's some random dude. Cool. Random lady. Again, more weeb. Han Solo. I'm not even sure how is this visible here, considering I'm pretty sure they didn't make a deal with Disney, which means that they're just straight up ripping these images from somewhere where they shouldn't be profiting from. Oh, great. Now, I want to point out things like this. So you have wallpaper, random ass wallpapers like this, which if I do this and this, now we have a different one. Now, I cannot imagine any worse way than coming back home and having to explain to, for instance, a spouse, girlfriend, wife, why the fuck did I have a random wallpaper on someone on my phone that then disappeared like I'm trying to hide it? Can you imagine how problematic that would be? Because I sure as shit can. So, like I said, a controller, great wallpaper. So, like I said, this is a horrid option right here that I recommend turning off, as it is just like these wallpapers are pretty bad. So anyway, that about sums it up. Now I hope you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to restore backup and how to transfer data on OPPO Find X9. Okay, first I'll show you how to transfer the data from your previous device into your OPPO, then I'll show you how to restore the backup from the Google one, and as a last method I'll show you how you can restore the backup from your PC if you have created such backup. Okay, so let's begin with the first method. Click on that arrow. As you can see, we are doing the setup process. Select your language, click on next. Select your region and also click on next. I don't know why on my previous device it has lagged. Click on next, and we have the option that we are interested in. Setup using another device. Now select the device type of your previous phone. In my case it's Android, and now we need to scan this code using our previous phone. So I need to scan it. Okay. Okay, now I need to draw the pattern that I have on my previous device as a confirmation. Okay, you can see that our OPPO is automatically connecting to the Wi-Fi, so we need to wait a little bit. Getting the phone ready, so let's wait a little bit. Getting account info. Okay, now if you want, you can insert your SIM card or set up your eSIM. I'll skip it because it's always available later in the settings. Okay, now copy up some data. Click on next. Once again, we need to wait a little bit. Okay, and now from that list, select what things you want to copy. In my case, I want everything except apps. If you have selected everything, click on copy. Okay, you can set your fingerprint and face unlock right in here. I'll skip it. it's always available later, of course. Okay, now scroll down and click on accept. Now we have backup services. They are really useful, so I highly recommend turning them on. Now we need to select our default browser and search engine. In my case, I always select Google Chrome and Google as search engine. Now click on continue. And now we can enable cool method to launch the Gemini by simply saying, hey Google. You can turn it on or click on no thanks, it's up to you. You can add your card into Google Pay. I'll skip. Click on no thanks. Okay, we are nearly done. Okay. Copying is finished, so click on done. Click on more and agree. Select screen color mode, standard or natural. Select navigation method, buttons or gestures. I'll stick to gestures. Alright, we are all set. So click this blue arrow. And now we are ready to use our device. That was the first method. Now I'll show you how to restore the backup from Google One. Okay, and now the second method. When we have possibility to set up our device using another one, we need to click on skip. Now we need to connect to the Wi-Fi. So select your network and type password to it. Click on OK. And click on next. Once again, we need to wait. Okay, now click on next and select that you cannot use other device. Click on OK. Okay, and now the most important part. We have possibility to sign in into Google account, and we need to sign in into the same Google account on which we made the backup before. Because if you'll be logged in into wrong account, you won't have possibility to restore your backup. So first type your mail. Click on next, and now we'll have to type the password. Then click on next, click on next, click on agree. Okay, and now we can choose a backup that we want to restore. In my case, I want that one. Okay, when it comes to Google Photos, Gmail, Calendar and Drive, those things are synced automatically. And down below we have a list. I want to restore everything except apps. Then click on restore. Okay, and just like in the previous method, we have a simple setup process right now. So you can insert your SIM card right now or set up your eSIM. It's up to you. I'll skip it for now. We can select unlock method or skip it and do it later in the settings. When it comes to Google services, click on accept. Now we have the backup options. I highly recommend turning them on. Click on next. Select your default browser. I'll stick to Google Chrome and Google as my search engine. We can leave and get a reminder or continue the setup. I'll continue. Click on continue once again. Now, if you click on turn on, you'll be able to launch the Gemini by simply saying, hey Google. It's up to you. I'll turn it on. Click on no thanks. Scroll down. Click on agree. Select screen color mode, standard or natural. Select navigation method, buttons or gestures. If you want to use the gestures but you don't know how, you can always click on learn. Then click on done. Okay, all set. Click this blue button. And now we are ready to use our device. Okay, now I'll show you the third method and I'll show you how to copy your backup from PC into your OPPO. Okay, I have launched my PC. But before we begin, let's click on System and Updates on our device. Click on Backup and Reset. Click on Backup and Migrate. And click on Local Backup. As you can see, currently we don't have anything right in here. And we don't want to create a backup actually, we want to restore it. But currently, if I would plug in my phone and when I would open up the File Explorer, I wouldn't find very important folder in the internal storage of my device, the backup folder. So let's create a folder by simply creating a new backup. Don't worry, we can always delete that backup later. We just only want to create a folder first. So when it comes to me, for example, I'll only create a backup of the preference settings, because I only want to create that folder in the internal storage of my OPPO. Okay, we are stuck at 99%. Pretty common thing. Okay, now click on Done. Now, we need to connect our phone into our computer using USB-C cable, so that's what I'm about to do. Okay. Now, open the notification bar and click on Charging this device via USB and select File Transfer / Android Auto. Alright. Now, on your computer, open up the File Explorer. Click on your OPPO. Click on Internal Shared Storage. Click on Android. Now the data. Find the folder Backup Restore. Now, in here we have that backup folder, so enter it, click on Data. In here we have that backup that we have just created, but in here on my PC I have that backup that I want to restore. So I need to copy this thing into that data folder. You can see that it's copying. So let's wait a little. We are almost at the end. Okay, so now you can see that it appeared. Everything has been copied successfully. Now on our phone, let's open up Backup and Migrate once again. And you can see that it's this backup that we have copied. So tap on it, click on Start, and the restoring process has now started. So let's simply wait until it's done. Alright, now click on Done, and now everything has been successfully restored. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to check the serial number of this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll all the way down to find About Device. Then let's scroll down again to find the status, and as you can see right here we've got the serial number of this device. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to reset camera preferences on this device. So let's start with opening the camera app. Currently we are on the video mode, however it doesn't really matter because we have to open general settings. To do that, simply tap on this 3 bars icon in the right upper corner and tap on the settings, right here. Now let's scroll all the way down and tap on Restore Defaults and tap on Restore, and basically this is it. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to turn off running apps on this device. So let's start with opening the recents. If you've got the 3 buttons navigation, simply tap on the button with a square icon or 3 bars icon. And if you've got the gestures, swipe your finger from the bottom to the center of your device and hold your finger somewhere here, like that. And here we've got the recents. So to close all of them with only one click, you have to simply tap on Close. Now we just got back to the home page. Let's open the recents to check, and here we've got no recent items, which means that we just successfully closed all background apps. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to change the screen timeout on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll down and find display and brightness. Then let's scroll down again and find auto screen off, tap on it, and here we've got some options from what we can choose. At the top we've got relatively short options, and at the bottom the longest, which is 30 minutes. So all you have to do is to tap on the option like to use. I'll pick 5 minutes, and as you can see it is notified right here, which means that from now on, after 5 minutes of an activity, this device will black out. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to check the IMEI number of this device. So let's begin with the fastest way. Let's open the dialer, tap on the keypad and enter the code, which is *## 06# or hash. And here, as you can see in this pop-out window, we've got those IMEI numbers connected with SIM cards. So just tap on OK, or actually SIM slots. And now the second way, through the settings. So let's open the settings. Here we have to scroll all the way down to find About Device. And then scroll down again and localize the status. And as you can see right here, we've got both IMEI numbers for both SIM slots. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to change video resolution on this device. So let's begin with opening the camera app. And currently we are in the standard photo mode, so let's switch to the video one. Just tap on the video, and now we can take a look at this option bar, and on the second position from the right we've got the resolution, so let's simply tap on it. And in this device we've got 3 resolutions to choose from. Right now we've got 4K, as you can see it is highlighted, which means it is set, but we can also set 1080p and 720p. So as you can see, all you have to do is to tap on the desired resolution and it will be immediately applied. Which means that, of course, your device will right now will use the chosen resolution whilst recording a video. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to clear credentials on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll and find security and privacy. Then let's scroll down again and localize more security and privacy here. Then scroll down again and localize credential storage. As you can see, it's quite hidden in this device. At the very bottom of the list, we've got the option we're looking for. So let's tap on Remove All User Certificates and tap on OK. We will have to enter our screen lock to confirm the whole step. And as you can see, not only we've got this information, but also this option is inactive, which means that we just successfully removed all saved certificates. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to update the apps on this device. So first of all, make sure that you've got the internet connection because it is required, and then that you've got your Google account added to the device. You can check how to do it using our tutorial, or you can do it after entering the Play Store, but it is essential. You won't be able to recreate my steps without it. So now in the Play Store, we have to tap on the circle in the right upper corner, which is our account, and then go to Manage Apps and Device. Then let's tap on updates available here. And as you can see, this is the list of all updates pending. And basically, you can either tap on update all and your device will download all of them, or you can choose specific apps and tap on update next to it if you don't want to update all. And as you can see, your device will right now download the updates, and after that, they will be successfully installed and automatically updated. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to clear the browser on this device. So let's start with opening your browser. In my case it will be Google Chrome, and then tap on the three dots icon in the right upper corner. Now let's tap on Delete Browsing Data, and here we've got some basic options like visited websites, opened tabs, cookies, cache, and other site data. Here we can also change the time range from last 15 minutes to, for example, last 4 weeks, or even all time. It's completely up to you. And then simply tap on Delete Data. However, if you wish to remove some advanced browsing history, just tap on More Options, and here we've got them. So tabs, saved passwords, autofill from data, and site settings. If you wish to remove something, make sure that it is marked. I will remove everything. We can also change the time range from last hour to, for example, all time, and then tap on Delete Data. Tap on Delete to confirm, and as you can see, we've got this information, which means that we just successfully removed browsing history. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to change the wallpaper on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll and find home screen, lock screen, and style. Then let's scroll and find wallpapers, and as you can see here we've got some pre-installed options from which we can choose. At the top we've got also the option choose from album, so you can set your own photo as a wallpaper, but let me pick something from those pre-installed ones. And let me choose maybe, I don't know, maybe this one. So just tap on the wallpaper, it will appear on the full screen, or actually this one. And then simply tap on Apply To. Now you can decide where you want to set it, so as a lock screen, home screen, or both, and I'll choose both options, so let me tap on it. Here you can check the preview again, so tap on Apply in the right upper corner if you're ready. Now we can go back, and as you can see, the wallpaper has been played successfully. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to change the system language on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll all the way down to find System and Update. Then tap on Language and Region and tap on Edit. Right now we can choose our language from the list, so just find it and tap on this plus icon, and your device will ask you if you want to set the new language as a default one. So just tap on yes. Now let's go back, and as you can see, the Turkish language, in my case of course, has been applied at the top of the list, and from now on the whole system will be displayed in the chosen language. If you've got more than one languages added here, you can quickly reorder them and change the language. So tap on it and hold it and drag it to the first position. Then tap on this first option to confirm, and as you can see, we've got English applied. If you wish to remove the languages from this list, just tap on edit and tap on this minus icon right here. Now we can go back, and as you can see, we've got only one language applied. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Hello, in this video I will show you how to reboot OPPO Find X9. Okay, the process is really easy. All we need to do is to launch the power menu. We do it by clicking power button and volume up button at the same time, just like that. Now all you need to do is to grab this white ball and put it on the restart. Now release your finger. You can see that our device has been turned off. Now wait a few seconds, and after that your device will be turned on automatically. Also, I will tell that performing a reboot from time to time, for example once a week, can help with the performance of our device, and also during that process our phone simply rests for a little, the RAM gets freed up, so it's also it's really worth to perform, for example, once a week. Also, if you have some problems, for example with your apps, that they don't want to launch, or it's taking really long before that app opens, I had a few situations like that, that one of my apps didn't want to launch at all. That's the moment when I have performed a reboot and everything started working properly. So if you have some little issues, you can perform a reboot and it might help with your problem. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to change date and time on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll all the way down to find system and update. Then date and time, and first of all we have to turn off both of those switchers. So now we can freely tap on date and change month, day and year just by swiping. Same with the time, just by swiping you can change minutes and hours. You can also select the time zone, tap on it, and here we've got the full list, so find yours and tap on it. It will be immediately applied. Here you can decide whether you'd like to use the dual clock, so your device will display two different clocks. The first one from the place you're currently in, and the second one from other place of your choice. Is completely up to you. You can turn it on just by tapping on the switcher, and here you can select the time format. You can either use the 24-hour one or 12-hour format. If you wish to get back to previous options, so the automatic options, simply tap on those two switchers right here. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to check for the software updates on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and before we proceed with next step, make sure that you've got the internet connection, and simply for checking you can use Wi-Fi or mobile data, but if you'll decide to download the update, I highly recommend switching to the Wi-Fi. So you can avoid some additional charges. Here at the top you've got this section software update. However, you can obviously tap on it. However, if for some reason your device is not showing you this option, all you have to do is to scroll down and go to system and update. Then let's tap on software update, and now your device will check for the updates, and basically you can meet two different scenarios, two different results. So the first one is where your device is actually up to date and there's nothing to download. Of course it will show you relevant information. And the second one is right here where there is an update pending. It will show you the information about it, what has been fixed, what has been added, and then you will be able to tap on download or install if you have to do it manually, or simply tap on restart now and your device will apply the update. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to set the camera timer on this device. So let's start with opening the camera app. And currently we are in the standard photo mode, and all we have to do is to tap on this 3 dots icon in the right upper corner, 3 dots or 3 bars actually. And the second bar is connected with the timer. We've got 3 different options, so off, 3 and 10 seconds delay. Let me choose 10 seconds delay, just tap on it and it will be immediately highlighted. As you can see, it is now visible inside the shutter button. Moreover, here we've got additional 2 seconds. It is because I believe we've got the night light option turned on. So if you've got it, just tap on it to disable this option. So now let's tap on the shutter button, and from now on our device will count down from 10 or 3 depending on which, or 5 depending on which option you've chosen, and after that time it will take a photo, and as you can see it did. So now if you wish to turn it off, you have to come back to the same section, so 3 bars icon and mark off, and now your device will take photos right after touching the shutter button. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to change the keyboard language on this device. So let's start with opening the app which will provide you with the keyboard. So for example, messages, notes, browser, whatever, just have the keyboard on the screen. Then let's tap on the settings icon in the upper panel, tap on languages, tap on add keyboard. And here we've got the full list, so you can either scroll and find it or search for the language by entering the name of it and tap on it after finding. Now you can choose the keyboard layout, so tap on Done. Here we've got 2 languages added. Before I'll show you how to remove the previous one, I'd like to show you how to use the keyboard with 2 or more languages added. Here we've got the information that if we would wish to switch the keyboard, we have to tap on this globe icon, which is a language key. So right now we've got English, and after tapping on the globe icon, we've got Urdu one in my case. Alright, so if you wish to remove the language, go to the settings again, tap on the languages, and tap on this edit icon in the right upper corner. Tap on the language which you wish to remove and trash bin icon, and as you can see, we've got only 1 language applied. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to allow unknown sources on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll down and find security and privacy. Then let's scroll down again to find more security and privacy. Scroll and tap on installation sources. So right here we've got the list of apps which are allowed or not allowed to install some content, and obviously we can change it. So let's pretend I'd like to download the app from Google Drive, not from the Google Play Store. So just find it in the list and then tap on the switcher. Your device will ask you if you really want to do it, because basically you have to be aware that you're doing it on your own responsibility. Some third-party apps aren't verified by the developer, so you may put your data and actually whole device at risk. So remember about that and choose the apps wisely. And tap on allowed to allow it, and as you can see right now it is active. And you're allowed to download the apps from Drive. Of course, you can always remove previously granted permissions just by tapping on the switcher again. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to change the ringtone on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll and find sound and vibration. Then let's scroll down and localize this ringtone and alert sounds and tap on ringtone. So here we've got two different, I would say, modes or albums from which we can choose the ringtone from. Moreover, here we've got this custom option, and if you've got something downloaded or recorded, then you can simply enter on this device and choose it and set it as a ringtone. Let me pick something from nature maybe. After tapping on it, we will be transferred to the list of pre-installed ringtones. So all you have to do to listen how the particular ringtone sounds is to simply tap on it, enter your device, and you will be able to check whether you like it or not. So let's pretend I would like to set this rainforest as my ringtone. So just mark the option, make sure that it is marked, and then go back. As you can see, it is notified right here, but also right here. And it means that from now on, our device will use the chosen ringtone to notify us about the incoming call. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to show battery percentage on the status bar in this device. So let's begin with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll down and find notifications and quick settings. Then let's go to status bar. And as you can see here, we've got the battery style and percentage. And the style is important here because it is tightly connected with the percentage which will be applied. So right now we've got this horizontal option. And after tapping on battery percentage, we can either show it inside the battery icon, outside the battery icon, or do not show it at all. It's completely up to you which option you prefer. However, if we will change the battery style from horizontal to the vertical option, the only option to show battery percentage is to show it next to the battery icon. We cannot show it inside. And the only thing we can do here is to use this switcher. And the same situation with loop option. As you can see, the graphical the graphics will change, but the percentage will still be next to the battery icon, or do not show it at all, and we've got only the battery percentage. Or we can turn it off, and we will not have anything indicating the battery. So it's completely up to you which option you prefer and which option of displaying the percentage you prefer. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to restart OPPO Find X9. Alright, we have two methods how we can do it. We have the normal reboot using the power menu, and we also have the forced restart. I'll show you both methods. Let's begin with simple reboot. To perform it, we need to launch the power menu, click power button and volume up button at the same time, just like that, and the power menu appears. Now simply select the restart function, and now if you release your finger, your device will be turned off, and then it will be automatically turned on back again after a few seconds. That's the first method. When it comes to the second method, when it comes to force restart, this method is recommended, for example, in situations when we have a frozen or unresponsive screen. Basically, when our whole phone is lagged and we cannot do anything. That's when we should perform a force restart, and everything will be okay after this method. And when the device turns on, everything should be okay. So to perform it, we need to hold power button and volume up button at the same time until our device turns off. So simply keep holding both buttons. Okay. Now we can release our fingers. You can see that the OPPO logo appeared on the screen, and now simply wait until the phone turns on. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to block a number on this device. So let's begin with opening your contact list. Find the contact which you'd like to block, sorry for that, which you'd like to block. So for example, this one in my case, and then scroll down to find block numbers. Let's tap on it. Moreover, I just wanted to tell you that if you've got the older version of the contacts, the block option will be right here. So in this gear icon in the right upper corner. So tap on block numbers. As I said, your device is informing you right now that you will no longer receive any incoming calls or text messages from this number. So just tap on block if you're ready, and here we've got this characteristic icon, and it means that for sure we blocked the number. We can unblock it the same way, but let me leave it like this. Now we will enter the blacklist. So the blacklist is right here. So let's tap on this 3 bars icon, go to the settings, and tap on blocked numbers. So this is our blacklist. That's the number we blocked from our contacts. Here we can also tap on add a phone number and enter the number here, tap on block, and it will be immediately applied. At the top, we've got also the option unknown, which means that after activating it by tapping on the switcher, our device will block the calls from all unidentified callers. We can turn it off the same way, and if you wish to unblock the number, simply tap on this X button right next to it and tap on unblock. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to enable the developer options on this device. So let's begin with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll all the way down to find about device. Then we have to localize a special number which is called build number or software version. It depends. And I believe it will be version number. So here in the about device, scroll and go and find version, and keep tapping on the version number until you'll see the information that you're in the developer mode. Then let's go back to the general list of the settings, go to system and update, and tap on developer options. And here we've got plenty of advanced settings which we can customize. As you can see, this list is really long. So for example, you can, so you could manage the background check. You can show view updates, animation scale, pointer location, no working overall. So to turn on the feature, simply tap on the switcher on it and it will be immediately activated and applied. Of course, you can turn it off the same way. And if it comes to the options without the switcher, simply tap on them to open more options to choose from. If you're done with customization of developer options, scroll up and tap on this switcher right here. Your device needs to be restarted, so I don't want to do it right now. However, after tapping on the restart, your device will restart and the developer options will disappear from the system settings. But of course, no worries, you can customize them again. Just go back to the version number step and keep tapping. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to unlock OPPO Find X9 without password. Okay, but before we begin, a few things. First, I'll tell you that please only try to unlock your phone, in no other case someone else's, because that might be considered as a crime, and that's also unethical. Second thing is that we need to perform a factory reset using the recovery mode, so all of our data will be erased. Third thing is that after the reset, when we get into the setup process, we'll have to verify ourselves by logging in into the Google account into which we are logged in on our device before the reset as a confirmation. So remember about it. Okay, as you can see, my device is locked. I cannot remember my password. So now we need to power off our device. Click on power button and volume up button and select power off. Okay, now to launch the recovery mode, we need to hold power button and volume down button at the same time until it launches. Okay, Now select your language, I'll stick to English. Now click on Format Data, type this code using your keyboard, and click on Format. The process will start. Click on OK. And now we just need to simply wait until our phone turns on. The next thing that we need to do is to go through the setup process. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how we can boot this device into recovery mode. So, to get started, you will want to press the power button and volume up at the same time, which brings up your boot options, and here you're going to swipe down to turn off the device. Once the phone turns off, hold power button and volume down at the same time, and you will want to let go of the power button when the OPPO logo shows up on the screen. Next, you will have the language selection page right here. So I'll be selecting English, which there are two other languages visible right here. For me, they're a little bit clearer than what the camera is picking up. So you see one, and there is another one right here, and another one here. So I'm going to be choosing English. And once you select one of them, we will be taken to the recovery mode with technically only one option, which is the format data. Factory reset of the device to its beginning state. And we have two other options right here, which are both just two different ways of leaving this mode. So we have reboot device and power off. So anyway, I'm going to select reboot device and confirm it by clicking on OK right here. And this will bring me back to Android. And there we go. So, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to restore WhatsApp backup on the OPPO Find X9. Okay, but before we launch our WhatsApp, let's open up the settings. Now scroll down all the way and find Google. And in here, make sure that you are logged into the same Google account that you have selected during the backup process, in the moment when you were creating it. Because if you will be logged into wrong account, you won't be able to restore your chats. So make sure that you're logged into proper account. Now we can open up our WhatsApp, select your language, and click on Agree and Continue. We can click on Allow to send us notifications. And now in here we need to type our phone number. If you can't remember it, you can always click on What's my number, click on Continue, click on Allow, and it will be automatically copied. Click on News, and click on Next. Now we also need to verify our phone number using one of two methods. We can use the code from the SMS message or use the missed call function. I always prepare the second one. You can also see that it's the default method. So that's the option that I'm about to select. Click on Continue, click on Allow, alright, verified. In here, Contacts and Media, click on Continue, click on Allow, Allow, and Allow All. Okay, and now select Restore from Backup, click on Continue, and now our chats are being restored. Okay, click on Next. In here you can type your name and also change the profile photo. Then click on Next. Okay, and now we are ready to use our WhatsApp. Now I'll show you that everything has been successfully restored. We have our videos, photos, and normal messages. So everything went successfully. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the HardReset.Info channel. Today I'm going to tell you all the DPI settings in your OPPO Find X9. At first, tap the settings and go into settings and scroll all the way down to about device. Scroll down yet again to the version and tap version number numerous amount of times. Enter your login password and now as you can see we are a developer. Go back, system and update, developer options and scroll down to drawing. Networking, HD audio, input drawing. Here it is. Here tap smallest width. Default value is 360, but we can change it to what we want actually, for example even 50. Here as you can see 50, but its smallest, the smallest available is 320, but let's set it to something around 600, not 1000, 600. It's like this actually, and we have to fix it. Here tap it and set it to, for example, 500. And yes, this is the one of the things. Let me set it to the default value, which was 360. The next setting that we can change about the DPI is in the display section over here. Tap this and scroll down to the display size. Here they have three options: large, standard and small. Apart from that, here they have font over here, and here you can, as you can see, change the font style, but that's about it. Here they have font size, which is, as you can see, the largest option here, and the smallest option here, and default is the second one. As for this value, font wave, we do have it here, and we can change it manually. And it's almost impossible to go to the default value with your finger. So to reset, tap reset. To apply, tap apply. And that's it. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a backup of your WhatsApp on OPPO Find X9. Alright, the process is really easy. All we need to do is to open up our WhatsApp. Once we are here on the main page, click on those three dots in the top right corner and open up the settings. Now find Chats, scroll down and click on Chat Backup. Okay, and now first let's begin with Google account. Let's tap on that and you can see that in my case currently this Google account is selected, and on that account, in the cloud of it, our backup will be saved and stored. So for example, if you want to restore that backup later in the future, you'll need to be logged into the same Google account that you have selected right in here during the backup process. Of course, you can add new account if you click on add. Alright, down below we have the automatic backups. Defaultly this option is turned off. You can see that in my case I put it on the monthly, which means that each month the backup will be automatically made and I don't need to do this manually. Pretty convenient thing, and I simply don't need to remember about making it manually. You can pick between those possible modes. I'll stick to the monthly in my case. Let's also include the videos in our backup, make sure it's enabled, and on the bottom we have end-to-end encrypted backup. It's not necessary to turn it on, it's like an extra security feature. If you turn it on, you'll be able to create a unique password that you will need to type in the future if you want to restore your backup. But be aware that if you create that password and when you forget it, you won't be able to restore your chats. So it's up to you. Just like I'm saying, it's not necessary to turn it on to create a backup. Make sure that you have some free Google storage space right in here. And now click on backup. Alright, and now the backup has been successfully created. As you take a look on the last backup and the hour, they are the same. So everything went successfully. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can capture a screenshot on this device. So, to get started, you will want to open up content that you wish to capture. For me, that will be the home screen, which is already open and visible on my device. Now, once the content is open and visible on your screen, all you will need to do is press the power button and the volume down at the same time, like so. Now, first time around, it will get you this kind of information that you can capture a screenshot using also gestures. So you have 3-finger swipe downs. Now you have several different methods of going about it. You have 3-finger swipe down, 3-finger hold, and then swipe across to capture, as you can see, cropped version. Then you have another cropped version. There we go. So this is another cropped version. Just the previous one would allow you to actually not be edge to edge like the image showed, but be, for instance, like just this area right here. Anyway, moving on, we have a scrollable screenshot by just swiping all the way to the bottom, and apparently you can capture a screenshot based on split screen, so you can choose which side it's gonna capture. Okay, so I'm gonna select got it. Now I'm gonna capture one more screenshot like this. And you can see every time you capture any screenshot, no matter what, you have the scroll and share options visible, and this pop-up and shows you your captured screenshot. When it disappears, you can find any screenshot that I've captured in the photos. By default, you would be located in the Photos tab, which will contain your screenshots, screen recordings, pictures, videos, and everything else on your device. So it might be easier to locate the screenshot that you might be looking for now or from the past by going into the albums and selecting the album called Screenshots. And you can see in here I have 2 screenshots which I have captured on the video, and also one screen recording which was captured earlier. So you can click on it and view it from here. So there we go. Now, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to add the photo to a contact in this device. So let's begin with opening your contact list, for example with the usage of the dialer. Tap on the dialer, tap on the 3 bars icon, and tap on contacts. Here you've got your contact list, so find the contact which you'd like to customize and tap on it. Then let's tap on this edit icon here in the right upper corner, and let me tap here. Now let's tap on this circle, because here we've got the picture card, the contact photo basically. So let's simply tap on it, and here we can choose something from device photos. We can open our own gallery or open the camera app and take a photo of someone who's right in front of us. Google Photos, where we've got our backed up photos. You can use monogram, so the first letter of someone's name or surname or both. You can change the background color. You can also change the font. You can also set the emoji instead of monogram. Just tap on it and you can find anything else, anything with what you want. For example, I don't know, feet or whatever. You can also change the background color or set it monochrome, which is more icon-like, and illustrations, which are free of charge and they are available online, and I highly recommend to check those options. They are really nice and really pretty. So let me find something here. Here we've got a unicorn. As you can see, after tapping on it, we can also change the presets, so we can change the colors. Moreover, not only the illustration, but in the pictures or the photos from the camera, you will be able to zoom in or out the photo, and thanks to it you can decide what you will see after saving the whole contact, because this highlighted circle is responsible for it. So just position it like you want to, and then tap on choose. Now let's tap on save in the right upper corner, and as you can see, this is how our contact will look like. Of course, you will be able to see this photo on the contact list and during all incoming calls from that specific number. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can insert SIM card into this device. So, before we get started, you will want to grab your SIM ejector, which will come provided with the device in the box, but if you can't find it, you could use a paper clip, straighten out one of the ends, and it should work just as well. Now, once you have either one of those, you can then pop out the tray, which will be located at the bottom of the device. As you can see right here, you want to use the area that is close to the edge of the device, part of this cutout, and push the pen in. And when you do, you can see that the tray pops out enough for you to just pull it out. Now on the tray you have space for 2 different SIM cards, so you can place one on each side. Now I do also want to warn you, if you're planning to utilize this, we have 2 spaces for physical SIM card, but you can also use an eSIM. If you're going to be using an eSIM, the bottom tray, SIM 2, becomes unavailable. So you can use one physical card on the spot SIM tray 1 and one eSIM, and this becomes then unavailable, or you can use 2 physical cards. Or if you're not using an eSIM, you can occupy the bottom with a SIM card and keep the top empty. But just know that if ever you would be using eSIM, the second tray just becomes deactivated. So anyway, let's grab our card, clip it in place. There are a little bit of retention brackets here to hold this card, so if you flip it upside down, this card shouldn't be falling out. If it is, then it wasn't in correctly all the way. Anyway, from there, just insert it back into your device, and the card, there we go, should start working right away. So this unlocks my SIM card. Holy hell, that is a god-awful wallpaper. Jeez, the wallpaper carousel just absolutely sucks ass. Anyway, so once you confirm your PIN for your SIM card, it will automatically start working. And that's it. You don't need to do anything extra. So, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to change the 3 buttons navigation into the gestures and the other way around. So let's begin with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll down to find System and Update. Then let's tap on System Navigation, and as you can see, we've got gestures and the buttons. So let's begin with buttons. If you've got them set, you can change the button layout, so we can reorder the back button and the recents. You've got also the options connected with the circle to search and digital assistant. So if you wish to set the gestures, simply tap on gestures right here, and if you want to, you can go through the tutorial of how to use the gestures just by tapping on Learn. I don't want to do it. You can see that instead of the 3 buttons, we've got this line, which is responsible for some gestures. You can hide it if you wish. It's up to you. It is connected with your aesthetics. Here you can decide whether you'd like to feel the vibration on the back navigation. You can manage the mistouch prevention and the sensitivity to back gesture. And to be honest, I highly recommend to get back to this option after a while of using the gesture. So you will be able to decide whether you need the sensitivity to be higher or lower. It really depends on whether you are, you are using the case or you're playing games or videos or whatever. Under it, we've got also circle to search, digital assistant again, and swipe animations. So you can show an animation when you swipe to go back. And it's completely up to you whether you'd like to use it or not. And now a quick tutorial of how to use the gestures. If you wish to come back to the previous page, get back to the previous page, just like by using the back button, you have to swipe your finger from the side to the center. If you can see this arrow, you can release the finger. And the same situation from the right side. If you wish to get back directly to the home page, you have to swipe your finger from the bottom to the center and make sure that this motion is quick and short. So something like that. And if you wish to open the recents, repeat the gesture, so from the bottom to the center, but hold your finger somewhere here, like that. And here we've got the recents. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to activate automatic system updates on this device. So let's start with a user-friendly option, and secondly I'll show you a more advanced option, let's say. So let's open the settings, then scroll all the way down to find System and Update, then tap on Software Update at the top, and tap on the three dots icon in the right upper corner. Then tap on Auto Update, and here we've got two different options which are connected with the automatic update. First of all, the auto download. Make sure that it is set to the Wi-Fi. I do not recommend tapping on Wi-Fi or mobile data because you may be charged for accessing the limit, so make sure that there is a Wi-Fi here. Moreover, I highly recommend tapping on this switcher to turn on the auto update overnight, because thanks to it, not only your device will automatically download the update, but also it will automatically apply it, so you won't need to confirm everything and so on and so on. Because as you can see here, we've got the information that the device will be automatically updated between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. and then restart it when it's not in use. So I really highly recommend, because thanks to it, all of updates will happen seamlessly. And the second way is a little bit more advanced. So let's start by going back to the settings and entering About Device. Here we have to scroll and find a version. And here we've got the version number, so keep tapping on it until you'll see the information that you're in the developer mode. Then let's go back to the general list of the settings and go to System and Update and tap on Developer Options. And here, after scrolling down a little bit, you can find this option, Automatic System Updates. So your device will apply the updates whenever it will be restarted. So again, it will work in a little bit more advanced manner. So you can turn it on just by tapping on the switcher, and this option is right now active. Be aware, because probably if you will turn off the developer options, the automatic system updates will also be turned off. So just be sure that developer options are turned on, so this option will work. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to reset OPPO Find X9. Okay, we have two methods how we can do it. We have the reset using the settings and reset using the recovery mode. I'll show you both methods. Let's begin with the settings. That's actually the recommended method. Now scroll all the way down until you find System and Update. Now click on Backup and Reset. Before the reset, you can also create a backup of your data, so you won't lose anything. You'll be able to restore that data later. If you don't know how to create a backup, on our channel there's a video when I'm showing you everything step by step, so if you want, you can watch that video. Okay, to reset the phone, we need to click on Reset, and down below we have Erase All Data button. If you click on that, your device will be turned off. The deleting process of your data will begin. And after that, your device will be turned on automatically, and the next thing that you need to do is to go through the setup process. That's the first method. When it comes to the reset using the recovery mode, to perform it, we need to power off our device first. So click Power button and Volume Up button, and click on Power Off. But when it comes to the reset using this method, there's a chance that after the reset using the recovery mode, during the setup process, the phone will want you to type the screen lock that you had before the reset, or it will want you to log in into the Google account into which you were logged in before the reset, as a confirmation that you're actually this user. So remember about it. Now, to launch the recovery mode, we need to hold Power button and Volume Down button at the same time for around, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds. So simply keep holding until the menu appears. Okay, just like that. To move around this menu, we can use the volume keys. If you want to confirm the selected option, click the power button, but the touchscreen also works. Now we need to select Format Data. Now type this code using your keyboard. Okay, click on Format. The process has now started. And now it has ended. Data formatted, click on OK, and now simply wait until your phone turns on. The setup process will appear on the screen. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9 and let me share with you how to enable the night light or eye comfort mode. So let's begin with opening the settings. We will start with the customization, and after that I'll show you much faster access to it. So in the settings we have to scroll and find display and brightness. Here let's scroll down and go to eye care and tap on the eye protection here. So here we can tap on custom, on the switcher to actually turn it on and customize. So here we've got the switcher. By going to the left we can make it cooler, and by going to the right warmer. As you can see, it's almost orangish. Basically this is the filter which aims to filter the blue light. Hopefully. And it will also be much easier for you to look at the screen at the dim light. You can schedule that feature. So you can choose the start and the end time, and your device will apply the mode accordingly. And here you've got also display effects. So it means that you can display the colors, but they will be affected by the eye care, or you can display everything in black and white manner. So it's completely up to you if you'd like to use it or not. I think I prefer colors. All right, so this is the customization of this mode, and let me actually turn off the schedule. And if you wish to have much faster access to this option, simply unroll the top bar, and right here we have to find the eye comfort mode, which is right here. So let's simply tap on it to turn it on and tap on it again to turn it off. If you cannot find the eye comfort here, no worries, just tap on this edit icon, so pencil icon up there, and you will be able, at least you should be able, to add the tiles here. But as far as I can see, I've got all of them here, so, or maybe here, sorry, my bad. Let me go back. So if you do not have the eye comfort here, tap on this plus icon in the left upper corner. And as you can see here are some additional tiles which are available. So simply find the eye comfort here, tap on it and hold it, and tap on it and hold it. No, simply tap to add the tile. I need to read the instructions. Yeah, and this is how it works. And tap on done to confirm. Alright, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up. Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to check the total screen time on this device. So let's start with opening the settings, and here we have to scroll and find digital well-being and parental controls. And as you can see here, we've got the graph which will show us for how long we've been using this device today. As you can see, in my case, almost for 2 hours. Most of the time I've spent on the settings than the camera. So we can tap inside the graph to check some further details. Here we've got the dashboard where you can check the specific hours in particular days of the week. You can obviously compare them, and under it you've got the list of apps which you've been using with a specific time of spent on them. You can also tap on the specific app and you will be again transferred to the dashboard, but this time it is tightly connected with this one app. I also wanted to quickly discuss ways to disconnect, which are right here. For example, the app timers. Let's tap on it. Here, if you will decide that you're spending too much time on a specific app, you can set the timer. Just find this hourglass icon next to it. And for example, if I will set it for 0 hours and 30 minutes, it means that I'm able to use this app for 30 minutes a day. And after that, the app will be blocked. And the timer will reset at midnight, and tomorrow again I will be able to use it for 30 minutes. If I will set it, for example, for 0 hours and 0 minutes, then the app will be immediately grayed out, and after attempting to open it, our device will show us this information, this pop-out window with the information that the timer ran out. Obviously, we can easily remove that. However, this is first sign which should stop us from entering the app. Maybe it will stop us. All right, so this is how it works. And another thing which I wanted to discuss is, oh my god, sorry, is the focus mode. So here we can select distracting apps. So usually those from what we are receiving most notifications. So just mark them. Now we can tap on set a schedule, and here we'll choose the specific days of the week, specific hours, and after tapping on set, right here, your device will basically limit the notifications, hide the notifications from those distracting apps, thanks to which you will be able to spend the time with your family or on studying, working, or resting. It's completely up to you. All right, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can hard reset this device through recovery mode. So, before I get started, I do want to quickly mention that you can do this kind of reset in order to get rid of a screen lock if you have one set that you don't know. I don't have any screen lock, but the process stays the same. Now, I'm gonna lock the device, and I'm gonna progress from here as though I don't know the screen lock that doesn't exist, but just bear with me. So starting off, we're gonna press volume up and power button, and this brings up our boot options. I'm gonna swipe down to turn off our device, and next we're gonna hold power button and volume. I believe it was down, could be wrong, we'll see. Now when you see the OPPO logo, let go of the power button. And okay, that was volume down. Great. So here it's barely visible, but there are 2 other languages to choose from. It's just the first one, that is the actual visible one, is selected. But once I click on English, which is the 3rd one, you can see it lights up. Now in here we have only 3 options, which again are not very visible. So we have format data, which is visible. Second one will be reboot device. And last one will be power off. Now under format data, which is what we're gonna do, when you click on it, it gets you the code. So we need to type it in. So 5828. And when you type it in correctly, it gets you this very faintly visible pop-up right here, format data. All user data will be reset. We're going to select format. And you can see it gets us, once it's done, info, data formatted. We're going to click on OK, which is like right under there. And this will reboot the device, continue resetting it in the background. And once it's finished, we then will be presented with the setup screen. So this will take about like 1 to 2 minutes tops to finish up. So I'll be back once it's visible for me. And there we go. So If you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can enable and also set up your Do Not Disturb mode. So let's get started by pulling down our toggles by swiping down from the top right side of the screen. Try that again before the screen times out. There we go. And this will show you a bunch of toggles right here. By default, your Do Not Disturb mode should be visible here, which it is for me right here. But if it's not, which could be the case for some reason, you can add it yourself by clicking right here on this pencil, selecting the plus button, and finding it somewhere in this list right here, and just hold it, or just tap on it to add it, click on done, and you can see it's now available to me on one of the pages. So anyway, once you see your Do Not Disturb mode, first time around you want to hold it and then select more settings, and this will quickly take you to the settings. Now in here, going over the options, at the very top we have the toggle to turn it on and off. Then we have silent media when Do Not Disturb mode is on. Next we have schedule. Now if you click on it, we have one that is always pre-made on every device of every brand called Sleep, and it starts at 10 p.m. ends at 7 a.m. runs every single day. You can turn it on if you want to by clicking this switch right here, or you can tap on the text itself to edit its parameters, or alternatively you can also add additional ones. So you can name it whatever you want and set the timer, and then repeat every day, so select days of the week. When you click on save, it automatically becomes enabled, something to keep in mind. So that's one thing. Moving back here to the settings, we can also choose exclusions for calls, messages, and apps. So in calls and messages, you can select who will be able to call you, message you, and both of them seem to have the same option. So you have none, everyone, contacts, or favorite. Choose whichever one you want. Keep in mind that when it comes down to favorite contacts, you need to go into the contacts list and favorite the contacts that you want to be, well, favorited. And lastly, we have a ring for repeated callers, which basically means that if someone calls you twice within a 3-minute period, no matter what you select right here, they will be able to bypass it. It might be a good option for emergency purposes. Usually people spam call you, which would inherently mean that they would bypass your Do Not Disturb mode with this option. And typically in emergencies, you probably want to know that someone is trying to reach you. So anyway, once everything is set right here, we can close this up. And whenever you want to manually turn on this mode, find the toggle and simply tap on it. First time around, it gives you this message, turn on Do Not Disturb mode. In Do Not Disturb mode, you will only receive notifications for alarms, timers, and calendar events. Well, and also calls and messages, depending on how you set it up. The box is always checked on. Do not show you this again, so let's turn on. And it's now enabled, which you can see right here. Now, by default, if you enable it, you will need to also remember to turn it off. So you can do so by just finding this toggle once more and clicking on it once again. And if you're using schedule, just make sure that it's turned on in the settings, and the device will do everything else for you. So with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, in front of me I've got OPPO Find X9, and let me share with you how to turn off ads and their personalizations. So let's begin with the personalizations. We have to open the settings, then scroll all the way down to find this Google services. Let's tap on it. Then tap on all services, scroll and find ads. And I've previously removed my advertising ID. Usually you will have two additional options: reset advertising ID and delete advertising ID. And basically all of those operations will not limit the amount of advertisements which you get. However, thanks to this option, they won't be that much personalized for you. So, for example, they will not show you the items which you've searched for or wanted to buy, etc. So that's quite quite a good option. So what I highly recommend here is to first of all tap on Reset Advertising ID, and secondly tap on Delete Advertising ID and confirm everything. After that, I highly recommend getting back to the settings, scroll up, and go to Mobile Network. Sorry, Mobile Network here. Then let's tap on More Settings and tap on Private DNS. Right now we've got this automatic option, but let's tap on Specified DNS, and we have to enter here dns.adguard.com. And tap on Save. And your device in a second will connect with the server. As you can see, we do not have this information here, which means everything is all right. And this operation will limit the advertisements which you get. Another thing which I highly recommend to do is to simply go to the Play Store and download the ad block. And I know that it is quite common to use ad blocks, but I just wanted to remind you about this option because sometimes we forget about it. And I'm recommending not only using the ad block for the browser, but also different ad blocks, because nowadays we've got ad blocks for system, for Android, for specific apps, etc., etc. So just check the available options. Try to choose those which are highly rated. Moreover, I highly recommend to simply replace the apps which are showing you advertisements with other apps. So for example, simply, if I'm using a file manager which is showing me a lot of advertisements, I'm simply entering the Play Store, entering file manager, and try to download the one which won't do that. And as a last advice, I highly recommend to simply limit the notifications from those apps. So for example, let's pretend I'm receiving a lot of notifications right here in this notification panel, right here, from Play Store with advertisements. So what I'm going to do, tap on it and hold it, and go to App Info. Then let's go to Manage Notifications, and after scrolling down, you can see that we've got different categories of alerts and advertisements. Try to find something which is connected somehow with the advertisements. So here in my case, it will be, for example, payments, deals, and recommendations. So just tap on it and tap on the switcher to turn off this category completely. And even better, if you do not really need any notifications from this app, simply tap on the switcher here. So your device won't show you any kind of notifications. All right, so that will be all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave the thumbs up.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can enable your power saving mode on this device. So, to get started, you will want to swipe down from the top right side of the screen, and then somewhere here you'll find your power saving mode. Now for me it is visible on the first page, as you can see right here, but in your case it might be on the second page, or you might need to add it yourself by clicking right here on this pencil. Now once you find this toggle, you can just simply tap on it. It gives you this quick pop-up turn on power saving mode with the do not show again box checked on by default. So once you select turn on, this won't show up again. And in the message we have battery life will be extended, but system performance will be reduced and some functions will be disabled. Now this is a very vague explanation on what the mode will be doing. So there's probably something that you want to watch out for, which is kind of like a standard power saving mode for almost every device as far as I can tell, and that will be the interaction with the power saving mode regarding Wi-Fi and mobile data. So when you turn it on, what usually happens is when you turn or lock the device like so, it will enter sleep mode, and when it does, it disconnects from Wi-Fi and mobile data. So there are two options. Either when you're not using the device, you're not going to be getting any kind of notifications from applications requiring internet connection, and for that you need to just kind of unlock the device, and that's a horrid wallpaper. That, there we go, that's better. So you need to unlock the device and it will automatically reconnect and then sync up everything that it's missing. Or alternatively, it could be checking for missing notifications or just messages and stuff like that automatically every like period of time. I don't know which one it is here, but most certainly it's going to be one of those. Now, additional thing is refresh rate will be reduced, so we have now 60, and dark mode is enabled. Now, once you're done with the power saving mode and you want to turn it off, you can do so by finding this toggle once more and tapping on it once again. And this obviously reverts all the changes. And sometimes we also have a more extensive power saving mode, so we can hold this toggle, and in here we have balanced power saving, and oh, there we go, super power saving mode. So considering this is a super power saving mode, it actually doesn't extend the battery that much, only by like 3 hours. So that's almost nothing. And considering it's only 3 hours and this is already at like 60% charge, this isn't a lot. So, but if you ever want to utilize this to just try to squeeze out the most amount of battery as possible, you can enable this. I'm going to select turn on. Now this will kind of limit the usability of your device by, as you can see, quite a significant margin. So this is designed to strictly prioritize battery life, and extra 3 hours, less than 3 hours, it's doing a piss poor job at it, to be completely honest with you. Now you can see we have no wallpaper, we have most applications gone, we have some notifications or toggles, but this is a very limited, and yeah, it's just designed to try to extend the battery life to as much as it can. Now to leave it, we can select right here exit and exit, and there we go. As you can see, it goes back to the normal mode. Now, funny enough, if we go back into the settings in here, I did want to point out one thing. So the old or super power saving mode gives us 21 hours, the normal mode gets us 18, and the power saving mode gets us almost close to 20, so 19 and 46 minutes. So between these all several modes, even the performance mode, which would actually decrease the battery, there is not much difference in this and like how much more battery you get. So keep that in mind. Which, that being said, it could imply that the device already does a bunch of power saving things in the background. That's why the change isn't that significant, but I'm just kind of spitballing here as I have no clue. Anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can hard reset this device through settings. So, to get started, you will want to open up your settings. Let's disregard this. There we go. So from the main settings page, you'll want to scroll all the way to the bottom and select System and Update, and then Backup and Reset. In here, we're going to select Reset Phone, but if you want, you could back it up right here. Now, there's two different ways. You can back it up, either using another device, basically migrating data to it, or to the cloud. I actually recommend none of these options. I will always recommend grabbing something like a normal cable like this one, plugging it into your computer, and then moving physically all the data that you want to your computer. This gives you full control over the data that you import. All the data is obviously imported, and it's not being strangled away from you because, oh, God forbid, you're not using the OPPO device and you no longer can restore this data, or some other BS like this. So you can restore this data on any brand, any phone, any device even. So it's much more versatile in this case. And additionally, there is some laws in Europe that prohibits companies from keeping your data for, I believe, like 2 or 3 years. I don't remember how long it is. But if you don't do anything with that data for the 2 or 3 years, this data is going to be deleted, at least from your access. And that being said, when you create a backup, you're basically backing up all your info or your data to someone else's computer. and it can be sure as shit that they're most likely going to be using this data to train their AI models. So that being said, with this logic, you're basically having restrictions put on you to what you can use this data on. That data is being used to train AI, and if you don't do anything with it, then it gets deleted from your access. But it was used to train AI, which in this case means that the AI has all the knowledge and memories of your data, which therefore isn't actually deleted. Great. Back up your device to your computer. That's the best way. Anyway, moving on, we're going to select Reset Phone. And again, we have options here to either reset all settings or all data, or reset network and Bluetooth settings. Now, we're interested in the last one. Now, if you have some kind of screen lock, you will need to confirm it in order to progress further, and then it gives us permanently clear all data. Now, we have two options. We can either clear all data or erase data but retain eSIM profile. Now, if you select the eSIM profile, it's as though you're keeping your SIM card inside of a device. Now, if you're planning to sell this phone or give it to someone else, this is probably not the option that you're interested in, so you'd be interested in clearing all data. But I don't know, maybe the device is working slowly for you or you have some problems. You could select erase all data but retain eSIM, and then obviously if you're going to be continuously using this device afterwards anyway, then this is probably the option that you might be interested in. But majority of us fall under the second category, clear all data. And it gives us quick info, clear all data. All data, including your eSIM information, will be cleared permanently. This operation cannot be undone, but you won't cancel any mobile service plans. I mean, obviously, it just clears data. So anyway, I'm gonna select clear. Now, this will begin factory resetting your device, and this process will take me maybe 2 minutes or so. And once it's finished, we'll be presented with Android setup screen. So I'll be back once that is visible for me. Now, I do have a physical SIM card in the device, so it's prompting me to confirm my SIM card PIN. Instead, I'm just going to pop out the tray. And there we go. So you can see now the reset is finished, and you can set up your device however you like. So if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a backup of your data on OPPO Find X9. Okay, let's open up our settings. Now scroll down until you find System and Update and Backup and Reset. Let's begin with the Backup and Migrate first. So let's tap on that. And in here, don't look at Clone Phone because I don't know why it doesn't want to work properly, because if you click on that, you can see that we can select that this is the old device and we should be able to send the data from this device into another. But when I'm downloading Clone Phone on any other device that I have, the only option that I have is to send the data, not receive it on my second device, of course. So it won't work in that case, but don't worry, we have other methods. Let's go with the local backup first. Simply tap on that and click on New Backup. Okay, in here you can select what things you want to backup. In my case, I want everything from that list except apps. If you have selected everything, click on Start. The process will start. In my case, it won't take long because I didn't select apps. Alright, 99%. Of course, it lagged on that value, but it should be done at any second. Alright, backup completed. Click on Done. But remember that it's the local backup. So for example, if you reset your device, you will also lose your backup. In here, we also have a recommendation that we should copy our files into PC or a USB flash drive to prevent data loss. Now I will launch my PC and I'll show you how to copy that backup into your PC. So give me a second and I'll see you on my desktop. Okay, to copy the backup from your phone into your PC or laptop, we need to connect our phone using USB-C cable into our computer. Okay, now open up your File Explorer and find your OPPO. Okay, now on your phone, click on open up the notification bar, click on Charging this device via USB tab, and select File Transfer / Android Auto. Okay, let's open up the Explorer once again. Our OPPO. Okay, select Internal Shared Storage, click on Android, click on the data. In here, find Backup Restore, this folder. Click on Backup, click on Data, and here we have the folder. That's our backup. On my desktop, I have created a new folder. I have called it, I named it OPPO Backup. Now simply drag this folder into your PC. Okay, it will start copying in a second, so let's wait a little. It should start at any second. Okay, everything is being copied. Okay, now everything is in our folder, so the backup is now stored safely on our PC. Okay, that was the first method. Now I will get back to you and I'll show you the second method. Okay, for this method we don't need a PC or anything like that. Simply get back into Backup and Reset, and for this method we are going to use our Google account to create a backup. So click on Google account. Now down below we have the backup details. First click on Photos and Videos and make sure that they are enabled. Then click on Other Device Data and also make sure that it's enabled. Down below we can see our Google account that we are currently logged into, and on that account our backup will be saved and stored. So for example, if you want to restore that backup later in the future, you'll need to be logged into the same Google account that you can see on your screen. Okay, now to create a backup, hit this green button. The process will start. Okay, in here a small circle appeared, and as you take a look, it's slowly fulfilling. When it disappears, this icon, it means that everything went successfully. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, everything has been successfully created. Under Other Device Data sentence, we can see that 1 minute ago it has stopped, everything went fine. That's like a confirmation for us that everything has been successfully saved. Alright, and that's all in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can import your contacts from the SIM card to the device. So, to get started, you will want to open up your standalone contacts application. We don't need notifications from contacts. Now, I do want to point out this is not notifications from people that send you messages. This is just the application contacts giving you some notifications for no reason. So yeah, we're going to select now. And in here, you want to navigate to Organize. Scroll down to Manage SIM. And this will display all the contacts that are located on your SIM card. Now, by default, they will be all selected. And by default, creepy as Google will try to hoover up all the data from people that never consented to having their data stolen. I'm going to change that to the device because pissed the F off. Creepy ass logic right here, Google. Now, obviously, by importing them to the cloud, you have access to these contacts on every other device that is signed in on this account. But again, also, it means that these people, if those are people, these are not actual people. These are just like SIM standard contacts for like your account state and your number and whatever. But anyway, whoever you have in your SIM card as a contact, when you import them to the cloud, it basically gives all this information to Google to basically sell and make profit off of it. Now, I want to remind you that for most people, when you do this, you usually also add things like date of birth, maybe where they live, first last names, phone numbers, obviously. So that's a lot of information for Google just to monetize, where the person never agreed to that. The person that is, the information is just basically being stolen and sold off. So that's number one. And number two, none of us as users get a single shred of effing value from this as a considering it's being sold off. Now, I don't know how about you, but if someone is making profit off of me, I sure should want some money from that. And if they are not willing to do that, my phone is well and capable of storing this effing data on my own device. I don't need Google. So, therefore, I'm going to be importing to the device because piss off Google. As long as you don't pay me, you're not getting data. So that being said, you can also deselect contacts that you don't want. And additionally, I do want to point out, if all your contacts are deselected and grayed out, that means that all of these contacts already exist in the location where you're trying to import them, meaning either the device or your Google account. Obviously, Google doesn't want multiple copies of the same contacts and info. They just want one. So from here, we're going to click on Import. Now, again, here's a creepy design from Google, a very scammy one. It gives you this pop-up. Why? I have no effing idea, because it's the most stupidest shit I have seen. It's downright retarded. So, remove copies from SIM. Why? Why? To clean up your SIM. Why the shit would I ever even want to clean up my SIM? How about maybe answer that first? Remove copies of imported contacts. Contacts that aren't important won't be affected. Cool. So if I didn't import contacts, they won't be deleted. Wow, how graceful of you. But every other contact that is will be. Now, these contacts never get in your way. They're on your SIM card for an effing reason. And the reason is to be a hard physical copy that you have access to on your SIM card. It's like having data on your flash drive. If I move it somewhere else, it doesn't mean that I want to get rid of it from that flash drive. It's there for a freaking reason. It's like a NAS. So anyway, I will be selecting keep. And the reason I find this absolutely effing scammy is because the moment you keep delete, which is obviously usually on the confirm side, which is not the one that you want to utilize. So keep, you usually get a pop-up from Google. Oh, how about you import contacts to the cloud so they're safe there? Well, thanks, Google. If you didn't try to delete my contacts from a SIM card, they would have been effing safe on my SIM card. But so yeah, I have a lot of problems with this, as you can probably tell. But no matter which option you choose to import and however you import, it's completely up to you. I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up that some people might not want their information to be basically sold off. to make a database off of it, and to have a profile set for it. So I do recommend just keeping everything locally. It's best that you rely on giga corporations as least as you possibly can, and when you can import your contacts to the device, it really makes no sense to import them to the cloud for giga corporation to have more control over your own data, to be honest, because that's basically what they have at that point. And wherever you import your contacts, sometimes you might need to change the display location. It looks like these contacts by default are showing all the contacts, which possibly could include the SIM card, but you can change this by dropping down right here and choosing to display other contacts from the SIM card, the device, the account, or like I mentioned, all of them. So it's up to you which one you choose. If I wanted to, I can just select the contacts that I have imported myself. And I find it funny that they also give you this little cloud cross that, oh no, I haven't synced these contacts to the cloud. Oh, God forbid, you didn't get all the data. Anyway, so that's about it. Now, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. And if you did, don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I will show you how you can record screen on this device. So, to get started, you'll want to swipe down from the top of your screen. Now, make sure you do it from the right side, as this is where our toggles are. And look for the screen recorder. Now, I believe it should be added by default, and I think it is. For me, it's right here. But if you don't see it on either page, you can click right here on this pencil and add it. Should be able to add it. Unless everything is already added, as I don't see really a list where I could add it. So, oh wait, there we go. So we have plus, there we go. So here we have toggles that are turned off. So you can now grab one of them, drag it over, and add it here, and then click on done. Anyway, from here, once you see the screen recorder toggle, you can tap on it, or you should be able to hold it and select more settings to just kind of get a quick glance at how it's set by default. Personally, the options right here are pretty mid. So number one, we have definition. We have set to medium for some reason, 720p. We don't live in 2000s, so I recommend changing it to high. It's really the only option that I would ever recommend changing, or changing it to, and nothing else. Frame rate, we have it set to dynamic. So automatically adjust the frame rate up to 120 frames per second. Now, I don't know how that will work for just normal viewing, if it's like altering it as it goes. So you know what, I personally like to select it on a 60 frames. That is usually the best kind of option anyway. And for instance, YouTube, like this video, 60 is the maximum frame rate that it can display on YouTube here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But for instance, if you're planning to watch something on this phone specifically that you're going to be recording, then dynamic might be good, because this phone would be obviously designed to operate in multiple frame rates at the same time while it's playing back something, as it's supposedly recording this way. So select whatever you want. Now just know that with higher frame rate, you will also be having presumably more storage taken. And definition also increases on the storage. Now definition is set to be 16 megabits per second, while the medium one was 8, half of that, which is going to be like 4 times more. Anyway, moving on, we can close this. None of these other options really matter that much. So let's close this, find the toggle, and simply tap on it. I'm going to select allow while using app, get started. Now it gets you this pop-up. Now this is what you're going to be seeing from now on every time you tap on this toggle. And you can choose if the recording will record system sound and microphone sounds. You can select either one, both of them, or whatever you want. I'm going to keep it as it is. Select start recording. And you can see it's now recording with this little dynamic island look. And whatever I'll do right now will be recorded. Though there is a little bit of a limitation sometimes. Here, I don't think I have anything to actually showcase this limitation with. Oh no, I do. There we go. Hey, piece of shit. There you are. Oh, I can't record it. Wow, what an amazing thing. I want to stress that I'm not signed in, nor do I even own this piece of shit account for this. So I haven't ever actually agreed to terms of service or use for this abhorrent garbage, nor did I actually even download this application that comes with this device. Now, the reason I'm kind of shitting on this right now is because let's just stop the recording. So we can click right here on this overlay and click on the square. The reason I'm very harsh to this dog shit is because if we go into our photos now, yep, we don't need this, don't back up, and we review our screen recording, which we can do from the tab or photo tabs, or we can go into albums, and in albums you'll find screenshots, which also contains this. Makes it a little bit easier to find your screen recordings, as they would only be mixed between screenshots and screen recordings. Anyway, so you can tap on this and you will be able to see why I'm so negative, which the pop-up already kind of told you, probably. This is the Netflix being opened, by the way. Now, I don't know about you, but I sure as shit never gave permission to Netflix to do this dog shit on the phone. Or anywhere. So, let's just go here, do this, and find this piece of shit. Do this, uninstall Know Your Place, which is in the trash. And when you want to watch something, I highly recommend checking out CloudStream. Basically free alternative that you can find on GitHub. Not necessarily illegal, as you're not really downloading anything that would be. It's like you would be downloading a browser, but browser that is designed to watch videos or movies or TV shows from specific locations if you add a repository. So, like I said, it's very similar to a browser. If your browser constantly came with a link embedded that you just open up a specific website that does things. So, actually, you know what? Just as a kind of middle finger to Netflix for doing this, I'll kind of show you how this looks like. So, look at that. Here we go. Here's a CloudStream, and you have a repository. Look at that. You have basically trendings and whatever. And then if you scroll down, we have Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, Hulu, and whatever. Now, it doesn't always work perfectly. It's a little bit gimmicky, but hey, it's free. And I have everything here. So, screw you, Netflix. So, there we go. Now, the only reason I'm being so negative is because I have never given permission or agreed to terms of service of this platform for them to be doing anything on any phone. So, because they do, I'm going to do my thing and just kind of give you alternatives that actually allow you to record them. Now, that being said, you can also see this in applications like Spotify too. Again, Know Your Place trash. So Spotify will also be blocking it, but again, there are alternatives to that as well. Now that can be found in a Revanced. You can thank me by subbing. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Find X9, and today I want to show you how you can enable and set up your portable hotspot. So anyway, to get started, we will swipe down from the top right side of the screen. This will bring down all the toggles, and here you're looking for the hotspot toggle. If it's not visible on the first page, you can swipe to the left, the second page, and that's actually where it is located for me. But if you can't see it anywhere, you can click right here on this pencil, and then click on the plus, and in here you'll find all the toggles that are turned off. So you can just grab them, drag them over here, drop in, click on done, and they will be added. Now once you have this toggle visible here, first time around hold it, and then select more settings. And this takes you obviously to the settings here, and we're going to start off by selecting hotspot settings and change our password. It is a randomly generated one, so obviously not the greatest to try to type it in and remember. Now your password will need to have at least 8 characters in length. That can be letters, numbers, doesn't really matter. I'll be using just numbers to keep it very simple. And once you change the password, I recommend just immediately saving it, just so you don't forget about it. And in here, we also have other options below. So you have security. I recommend keeping it as it is. AP band, we have option between 2, 2.4, or 5 gigahertz. And I like the fact that companies started to give this kind of quick little message, so more compatible or faster. I actually really like how Samsung did it with the slider, basically, but they also have 6 gigahertz, so there is additional option right here. But the lower the number, let's put it this way, in gigahertz, the more compatible it is, and 2.4 is basically the lowest it gets when it comes down to Wi-Fi. So any kind of device that ever was produced always will support, as long as it had any kind of Wi-Fi capability, it will always support 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Now the 5 gigahertz one will be a bit newer devices, so like super old ones do not support it. The benefit is 5 gigahertz is faster, and also more stable of a connection, but there is just kind of, let's just call it pointlessness to this. So because you're going to be broadcasting your phone's network, and you can connect to this using either the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. If you go with the 5 gigahertz, I mean, cool, it's going to be working just fine. It might be less obstructed network, because most kind of very congested areas that have a lot of different networks will typically have the 2.4. 5 will be a little bit more free and just probably better for user experience. But if you live, I don't know, like a building complex where there isn't too many networks in general, then this doesn't really matter. And the benefit of it being faster doesn't really make sense right here, because you're still relying on the mobile network. And mobile network, for the most part, doesn't go any faster than like, 50 megabits, which is well in the capability of the 2.4 gigahertz connection, I guess you could call it. 5 gigahertz obviously will be faster, but at these speeds of phones networks, this doesn't make much difference. You won't really be able to tell the difference that your network is faster, because you're just limited by the actual mobile network itself. So honestly, select 2.4. This gives you the best kind of compatibility, so you don't need to worry about this in the future. And only change this if you are in an area where you constantly keep losing the signal, or it's running like shit, or whatever the reason is, where you have just some kind of problems which you don't usually experience. This could be just caused by way too many 2.4 gigahertz signals being around with way too many devices connected to it. So at that point, it could cause you some problems, and changing it to the 5 gigahertz one will get you better experience. But that's really all you would be looking for, better experience. Anyway, moving on, we have the hide hotspot. I don't recommend turning that on. It would mean that you'd need to manually type in this entire name right here as a name of the network by adding it manually, and then also manually type in the password, which, well, that you already do. But in terms of the name, you usually just click on the Wi-Fi name. Here you have to manually add it, and if you type it in incorrectly, well, you're not going to be connecting to anything. And lastly, we have use Wi-Fi 6. This honestly doesn't matter. Specifically, if you're using the 2.4 gigahertz, this absolutely means nothing. And just to kind of give you a heads up, Wi-Fi 6 is the 5 gigahertz band. So yeah. And what does it actually tell us? Wi-Fi 6 protocol provides a fast connection. Hotspot using Wi-Fi 6 may not be found by some older devices. Okay, yeah, so basically it says what I told you, but I'm kind of confused. How is it using Wi-Fi 6 at 2.4 gigahertz? Huh? This doesn't really make sense. And just to kind of give you a heads up, Wi-Fi 6 is, like I mentioned, Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz. Now, there is a 6 gigahertz band, but that is Wi-Fi 6E. I know, not confusing at all, right? Wi-Fi 6 and 6E, they're about the same, but they actually have two different, completely different gigahertz standards. So God knows why Wi-Fi is even like naming this shit this way. So typically, if you select the Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz right here, you would technically be using Wi-Fi 6 by the definition of what it's capable of. 2.4 Wi-Fi, which would, if you name it like that, wouldn't be capable of doing the 5 gigahertz. But in any case, once you change the settings right here, we can close this. I do want to also talk about one last option, which is this one, automatically turn off personal hotspot, and that turns it off after 10 minutes of inactivity. Right? Oh no, it's not connected. There's no devices connected. Okay, so this one is actually a little bit better. Some devices do have a timer of inactivity. This one is non-connected devices. I recommend keeping that on, as sometimes when you use your hotspot, you will walk away with your phone. You're done using it, but you will forget to turn it off. It's just kind of like natural. You just take your phone and move on. When you move on, you will the other device that you were using with this hotspot will most likely disconnect because of distance, and therefore this will kick in the timer and turn off your hotspot on its own, even when you forget about it. And this will be good because when you enable your hotspot, so let's find the toggle, tap on it, your hotspot will consume more of your phone's battery. And it's running right now the hotspot, which consumes more phone battery, and it's running Wi-Fi. So obviously some energy will be going here. So when you're done using it and you forget about it, the device will turn it off for you and obviously preserve a little bit more battery because of that. Now you can also turn it off yourself, like I just did, to basically circumvent that timer, so you can just do it faster and again just get a tiny bit more battery out of it. But if you forget about it, you don't need to worry about it. By default, the device will remember it for you. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.